Welcome to Real Estate Solutions. We're so excited to have you as a tenant. We know that having great tenants is part of what makes us a great company. Please watch this video closely as it covers a lot of important information that you may find helpful. First, we'll cover our role as your property manager. As your property manager, we're not your landlord because we don't own the property that you have rented. When you pay your rent, you're not giving money to Real Estate Solutions, you're giving money to the owner of the property. They, in turn, pay Real Estate Solutions for our services. The owner of the property is essentially Real Estate Solutions' boss. We have a fiduciary duty to perform the responsibilities they've hired us to do. This means we can only act within the scope of those duties, and sometimes this means our hands are tied. But we work diligently to balance this responsibility with being a helpful resource for you so that we can make your tenancy a great experience. You can reach us via text, email, phone, or even instant message on our website. You may be thinking, I'm paying you money, so as your customer, isn't the customer always right? We'll have to question the premise for this one. When you pay rent, you're actually giving money to the owner, not Real Estate Solutions. This means that you as the tenant are not a customer of Real Estate Solutions. You are, rather, a party to the contract, which is the lease, which we are tasked with enforcing. However, we pride ourselves on our excellent customer service, which we will provide to you by being professional, responsive, and polite, always. While lease enforcement may appear to be one-sided, it goes both ways. Just as we have to enforce the part of the lease that says you need to pay rent on time, so too do we have to enforce the parts of the lease where the landlord is required to do things, such as handle repairs. If you've had a great experience with Real Estate Solutions, we'd love for you to share that online. We recommend going to Google or Yelp to tell your story. Even though you're not a customer of Real Estate Solutions, we want you to know we care about you. Our responsiveness to text, email, and phones is because we want you to have the most positive experience with your rental property possible. In order to do this, we ensure all properties are clean with carpets professionally steam cleaned. We make sure our locks and door codes are changed between tenants, make sure you have working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, that all appliances work, and more. We do this because we know moving is stressful and we want the process to be as easy as possible for you. We even have a surprise for you on your kitchen counter when you move in. If you think any of these efforts warrant a positive online review, it would really mean a lot to us. On the other hand, if you ever have any issues or concerns, we sincerely request that you come to us before posting an online review. While we have no choice other than to enforce the lease terms, we promise to always treat you professionally and courteously. We manage around 1,000 properties throughout the Denver area, all with different systems, setups, and various unique qualities. Because of this vast portfolio, we may not always have in-depth knowledge of specific systems in your unit. We encourage you to use YouTube or Google for quick answers, but if you're not able to find one, please let us know and we'll do what we can to help you. Rent is due on the 1st of the month and considered late after the 3rd, regardless of holidays or weekends. We have a drop slot on our front door, so it can be dropped off at any time. If rent's not received by the 3rd, there is a 10% late fee. This 10% is calculated based on your monthly rent rate, not the amount owed. We know you work hard for your money, so we don't want to have to charge a late fee, which is why we're covering this information. However, we also can't waive them, so please be sure to pay rent on time. If you're moving during the middle of the month, you'll still be paying a full month's rent at the lease signing, so on the 1st of the following month, you'll only be required to pay for the days that your lease covered during the previous month. You may also have prorated rent owed for the last month of your lease, so please be sure to check your tenant portal before you move out for your final month's rent. Occasionally, we get asked to waive late fees. Unfortunately, we don't waive late fees under any circumstances. Not because we don't want to, but because it's our policy and we have a duty to our boss, the owner, to enforce the lease. We also have a duty to treat all tenants the same. We can't be waiving tenants' late fees for some people and not others. That would be considered an unfair housing practice. For the same reasons we can't waive late fees, we also can't waive or discount improper termination fees, regardless of the reason. We know life happens and sometimes things come up unexpectedly, but the idea behind the contract is that both parties are agreeing to the terms. This goes both ways. We also wouldn't allow a landlord to end a lease early because they want to sell or move back into the property. Another common question is tenants asking if they can sublet their property or use Airbnb. Unfortunately, this is strictly prohibited in your lease. If you choose to make a partial payment for your rent, you may do so online through your tenant portal as long as it's before the 1st. Once the 1st of the month hits, the online system will not allow partial payments. This is especially important for tenants who are roommates, as most tenants divide up the rent in those situations. If you choose to mail your payment, we do recommend checking your portal online on the 1st to ensure that your payment was received. We do not control the mail, and sometimes payments get lost or the mail takes a long time to arrive. So if we haven't received payment by the 3rd, please make arrangements to drop off your payment to avoid a late fee. We rent properties as is, which means the way you saw the property at your showing is the way you'll receive it. We do ensure that properties have carpets professionally steam cleaned and that all properties are cleaned up to our company standards before move-in. But cosmetic issues such as stains on the carpet, marks on the wall, touch-up paint, those things are considered as is and not something that the landlord will be addressing. Right before you moved into the property, RES sent a team member to the home to perform a detailed move-in inspection and documentation process. We collect high-resolution images of every part of the property so that at move-out we can compare these photos to our move-in documentation photos. We do this to protect tenants from being charged for damage they did not cause. Per your lease, you will need to email or text any repair requests. We will ask you to indicate the property address, any details such as what is occurring, anything you've done to try and fix it so far, and send pictures when needed. This information helps prepare the vendor before they go out and makes the repair process as quick and smooth as possible for you. You will then receive a response from us either asking clarification questions or letting you know that a work order has been started, as well as giving you a contact deadline. This contact deadline is our way of saying, let us know if you don't hear from the vendor within X amount of time. That way we can ensure that the vendor hired has in fact been in contact with you to schedule the repair. Having a repair, and we know it can be frustrating and inconvenient, so we want to assure you that we'll work hard to make sure your issue gets resolved. Real Estate Solutions does not employ any vendors. They're all third-party vendors that have no affiliation with RES. RES makes absolutely no money off repairs. The third-party vendor sends us the bill, and we then charge the appropriate party. In most cases, this is the landlord. In some cases, it could be the tenant. Common repairs charged back to tenants would be a plumbing backup caused by a tenant or a garbage disposal clogged with something the tenant has placed in it. So if you have any questions about who is responsible for the repair, please let us know on the front end. Have an emergency repair, please follow the instructions on our after hours voicemail. Please note that only emergencies are responded to after hours. Emergencies would be something like no heat on a night with freezing temperatures, a burst pipe, or a large leak that can't be controlled. But things like no AC, lockouts, small leaks, those are going to be handled the following business day. You will be responsible for some basic maintenance such as changing AC and furnace filters. This must be done every 3 months or monthly if you have pets. Tenants are responsible for replacing burnt out light bulbs regardless of the ceiling height. So if you're not sure how to change a filter or bulb, please look up the model of your unit on Google or YouTube, and these can be very helpful resources. If you live in a condo or townhouse, you may have an HOA or a homeowners association. These HOAs are not affiliated with Real Estate Solutions, as we manage only your individual unit in the complex. This means that things like community features such as a pool, clubhouse, common grounds maintenance, or violations like dog waste or noise are all handled through the HOA. If Real Estate Solutions receives a violation notice, we will pass it on to you and ask you to resolve the violation directly with the HOA. If you have questions or dispute regarding a violation, please contact the HOA directly. RES has no authority over the HOA, and we do not have access to their information or control over the fines they assess. When we send the violation, we are strictly acting as the middleman, passing the information on to you. If you have not already received a copy of your community's HOA rules, please let us know. You will be receiving a link to your tenant portal shortly. If you don't log in within 48 hours, your link will expire, but don't worry, we can easily reset it for you. From the tenant portal, you'll be able to access a copy of your lease, view your lease ledger, communicate with our team, and make online payments. If you're on a lease with more than one person, please note that we cannot remove tenants mid-lease, but we can at the end of the lease term. If you choose to renew without one of the tenants originally on the lease, please let us know during the renewal period so that we can accommodate this request. If you would like to replace someone on the lease or add someone to the lease, they would need to complete an application through RES, be approved, and pay the $200 administration fee for that change to the lease before being added. Thank you for your attention. We hope you found this information valuable. We look forward to having a lasting relationship with you now as a tenant and maybe in the future as a property owner. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. Anyone here can assist you. Good luck with your move and have a great day.